So now we are going to be constructing a reflection image, not by using patty paper, but by constructing it using a straight edge and a compass. So I'd like you to turn to this page in your workbook. It's page 370, chapter 9 still. And we have this image right here at the top. And instead of using the image that's right inside your workbook, I'm going to be taking a copy of it that I put on a piece of paper over here so that I have a little bit more room to work. But I'm going to be following the instructions on the page, so you should follow along with me as I do this construction so that you can do this as well. So we're going to start with point A, and we're going to, the idea is that we're going to be drawing lines through points A, B, and C, which are perpendicular to the mirror line. This red line here is the mirror line. And then we're going to be measuring off equal lengths on the opposite side of the mirror line in order to construct the reflection of this triangle. So we'll start with point A. I'm going to, let me slide this down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better on an angle here. Okay. I'm going to start with point A. And I have to remember, how do I construct a perpendicular line through point A that is perpendicular to this line here? Good, that angle you should see it a little bit better. So the first thing I do is I create an arc around A, like such. Okay. And I can label my intersection points anything I want. In this case, I don't really have to label them anything as long as I know that they exist. I'm going to open up my compass a little bit wider. I'm going to place the sharp point at one of the newly constructed points, draw an arc out here, and place with the same width the compass with the sharp point at the other point, and then I have two intersecting arcs. Now I label those intersecting arcs, and I'm going to join point A to the point I just created. And that is going to be a line that will be perpendicular to the mirror line. Okay? And I'm almost done with finding out where point A prime is. In order to do that, I now have to place my compass at the intersection of the two perpendicular lines, right over there, and then measure off the distance from there to point A, like such. And then make this intersect the perpendicular line on the other side, and it pretty much coincides with the other arc that I drew. So A prime ends up being right over there. So we've got our first point. Let's now work on B prime. And the distances will be a little larger with B prime, maybe making it a little bit easier to see some of the work. So I follow again the instructions in the packet. I'm going to put the sharp edge on B. And now I'm going to have the compass, and I can play around with it a little bit. I want to make sure that I'll not have things too widely dispersed. So let me make an arc around B. Nice dark arcs. I can see exactly where we have our intersection points. So now maybe I'll draw these intersection points in green. One point was over here. That one point was over here. Okay, so those are now my two intersection points from the arc around B. I'm now going to place my compass in each of those points. Start with this point, create an arc, like that. Then go to this point, create another arc over here. And those two arcs intersect in this green point over here. So if I now connect B with that new point, I should get another perpendicular bisector. Do that in pencil. Okay, and what I need to do now is label that intersection point, and I want to be able to measure off an equal distance between B and the perpendicular line and the other side of the perpendicular line. So the easiest way to do that is to take my compass and place the sharp point in at the intersection over here, measure my distance so that it is equal to the length of that point to B. Make sure that that's exactly the case. And now make an arc like such, intersecting the line over here. And that intersection point is B prime. So now I have my B prime. So I have my A prime over here, which I wrote in pencil. I have my B prime over here. And now let me construct my C prime. So once again, I'm going to take my compass, and I'm going to construct now a perpendicular line through C and through the mirror line. So in order to do that, I place my sharp end of the compass on C. I open this wide enough so that it will intersect the line in at least two locations. So let me do that here. Let me draw the arc. Okay, good. So let me now label my two intersection points. Let me use maybe red for this one. We have one intersection point over here. And we have another intersection point over here. Okay, good. And now I'm going to use each of those intersection points to create two new arcs on the other side of the line. Let me do that over here. And then let me move it to the other red point, keeping the compass the same width. Let me create another arc over here. Okay, and those two arcs intersect in this point. And now I need to connect C to this point to create a line. So that's another perpendicular line to the mirror line. And I need to measure off, and I may need to make this a little bit longer. Make sure I have it long enough. Okay. It's always good to put a little bit of extra length in there just in case I'm going to need it. And now I need to measure off a distance along this line so that the distance from C to the line would equal the distance from the line to C prime. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to need to start with the intersection point of the mirror line with this line I just drew, which is right over there. Okay, put my compass like that. Measure off my distance between there and C, like such. Okay, and now I'm going to use that same distance to create this arc. I'll make it really dark to distinguish it from all the other arcs there. Okay, and that is going to be where my C prime is going to sit. This is where C prime is going to be. This point right there, I'll make it real big. And now let me go ahead, connect my A prime, B prime, C prime. Let me do this in pink, so we'll be able to see what our triangle looks like. A prime to C prime. A prime to B prime. And B prime to C prime. And there we've got it. You can see that we have constructed a triangle with vertices A prime, B prime, and C prime. That is the reflection of our pre-image triangle ABC. As is the case, whenever we do a reflection, you'll notice that the orientation has been reversed. A to B, B to C, and C to A is counterclockwise, while we have A prime to B prime, B prime to C prime, and C prime back to A prime being clockwise.